What's up, everybody? Josh Armijo here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an album review to do for you, and I'm going to show it to you right now. This is the new album from the band Expander, entitled Neuropunk Boostergang. This is released on Profound Lore Records. Now, if you're not too familiar with this band, they are based out of Austin, Texas, and the best way to describe the sound of this band would be a very traditional, fast, futuristic style of crossover thrash metal. Yeah. My first introduction to this band was seeing them play live at the 2016 Red River Family Fest. Of course, that was a fest that featured a lot of Texas-based bands, some that I was familiar with, and a lot of them I wasn't familiar with. And Expander was very new to my ears. Pretty much everyone in the band looked like they knew what they were doing. They knew what they were talking about, they knew how to play their music, and they absolutely knew how to get a crowd interested. And as soon as they talked about them putting out a debut full-length album through Nuclear War Now, I was very, very intrigued at what type of band we were going to be listening to. And this band played a very, very strong sort of style of extreme music. Almost a punky, thrashy, Voivod-esque sort of sound with their music. And of course, this band had put out some really, really top-notch demo EP material in their previous inclinations, with the Laws of Power EP and their self-titled release. I think both of them were released through a label called Night Rhythms, which is a very reputable, independent, extreme music label based out of Austin, and I think two members of Expander run said label. But then in 2017, we got the proper debut full-length from Expander entitled Endless Computer. And that was an amalgamation of everything this band had been doing prior to and up to now. And you can tell that things came full circle with this album in terms of their style, their musical deliveries, their sound, just overall getting better and better as a band, and not to mention them getting better and better as a live band too, because the next couple of times I got to see them play live, they sounded better than ever before. And I was all for Expander getting better and better and growing as a band. But now in 2020, we enter the second full-length effort from Expander entitled Neuropunk Boostergang. It's 10 tracks, and it clocks in at around 42 minutes in length. And pretty much this album is a vastly different listening experience in comparison to Endless Computer. It's the same Expander sound that you're accustomed to hearing, but things feel a lot more angry, a lot more aggressive, a lot faster paced. And I definitely love that Expander. Like I said, I think they're a band that is continually growing and getting better. And this new full-length album is an example of Expander getting better with time, better with their sound and execution, and just overall being a terrific band. Musically, there is just a lot to dive into with an album like this. You hear it on the opening minutes of songs like Wretched Wares, Hyperflesh, A Difficium, probably butchered that, sorry about that, Waste Ranger, Crypto Steel. I mean, the first half of this album is just nuts. I just love how well-paced this album is. It's fast-paced, it's in your face, and it's just wildly entertaining. And of course, one thing that holds it all together is the musicianship. I love the riffs. I love the progressions of things. I love the solo parts. I just love the craziness that comes forward with these guitar riffs. It's just wildly entertaining, especially for some of the lengthier tracks on this album, like I aforementioned with Crypto Steel and the title track, and then the closer with CO3, Quest for a Future. That's the longest song on here at about 8 minutes in length, but I definitely feel like there's a lot of stories being told with the guitar riffs on this entire record, and it is just wildly entertaining. The bass work on here is very good too, very clear, very audible in this album's mix. It definitely feels very much like a heavyweight sort of bass tone and sound, and I think this tone and sound works out well to this band's advantage. When it comes to the drumming, that's another thing that really makes Expander stand out, is how fast-paced this drum performance is. It is just so awesome. I definitely love the fact that it has that sort of punk and thrash sort of flair going for it. I love the way the snare sounds. I just love the way the tempo feels. I love the way that every song just flies by at such a fast, smooth, and brisk pace, and it just makes things all the more entertaining to listen to, especially for some of the lengthy songs that appear on this album. This drummer has a bunch of stamina, and I really applaud him for making this album fly by so wonderfully with his drum performance. And when it comes to the vocals, I love the vocal work here a lot. Definitely more of that Voivodian influence that you hear in this band and in this guy's vocals, the way that he's weaving all of these stories being told, his vocal delivery, just the snarling aggression that comes from this guy. I just think it's really entertaining vocal performance. He definitely holds your attention and makes you want to pay attention to everything going on here, especially with the themes and the lyrics of this album. It's just more of that wild and crazy, dystopian, futuristic sort of thing going on, and I absolutely love that about this album and this vocalist and his storytelling abilities. So overall, this is a very awesome Expander record. I definitely think this is their best material to date. If you're into wild and crazy crossover thrash or metal punk or any of that sort of stuff, I think Expander will whet your appetite with Neuropunk Boostergang. This is a really, really fun album to listen to, and definitely one of the best fast-paced records you'll hear in 2020. So, if I didn't think of any personal favorite tracks, I would definitely have to say Wretched Wares. Megacorp is another really top-notch track. Crypto Steel, Rejunculizer. I absolutely love the name and title of that track. The title track, and of course the closing track with CO3, Quest for a Future. Unbelievably well-written music here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you some links in the description box as to how you can get a hold of this album and listen to it. I will leave you a link to the Profound Law Records Bandcamp page. You can listen to this album in its entirety, hear it for yourself, and be your own judge as to whether you think it's worthy of being purchased or not. You can stream it by digitally and is available physically as a CD and 12-inch vinyl. What I have in my hand is the 12-inch vinyl version. There you can see this really beautiful album cover art, very similar to the last time out. Dig the spot gloss on here with the X of Expander. Back cover with track listing, credits, band member photos. Comes with a lyric sheet with a photo collage on one side, lyrics for all the songs on the other side. And this came on multiple variations, but I was lucky enough to score the solid orange vinyl version of this. Sounds incredible, plays incredible. Profound Lore doing wonderful things with their vinyl presentations as usual. But yeah, again, the album is Neuropunk Boostergang by Expander. This is released on Profound Lore Records. Definitely check this one out. And for a score, I'm going to give this a very solid 8.5 out of 10. Wildly, wildly entertaining crossover thrash with some futuristic flares going on. If you haven't so far heard this album, definitely let me know what you think about it, how you feel about it, and how you think it compares to their previous releases. Are any of you guys into Expander? Definitely let me know. I'm going to conclude this review. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel. Until next time, Armijo out.